A stranger left a note on my car. What I discovered broke me. The note was wedged under my windshield wiper, just a crumpled piece of paper. Probably a flyer or a parking warning. But when I unfolded it, my whole world shattered. Your husband isn't who you think he is. Check his phone, check his messages from work trip. I never questioned my marriage, not once. Ethan and I had been together for 8 years, married for 5. He was my best friend, my rock, my everything. He worked long hours as a financial consultant, often traveling for days at a time. It was tough, but I trusted him. I never had a reason not to. Until that note. I stood there, frozen, in the parking lot of my local grocery store. My hands shook as I reread the words, my heart pounding against my ribs. Who wrote this a prank? A jealous ex-someone with a grudge. I shoved the note in my pocket and drove home, my mind spiraling. I wanted to ignore it, wanted to believe it was just some cruel joke, but something inside me whispered, what if it's not? That night, I did something I never thought I'd do. While Ethan was in the shower, I took his phone from the nightstand. My palms were sweating as I swiped through his messages. At first, nothing. Just work emails, group chats with his buddies, old texts from me. And then I saw it. A chat labeled work trip with a lock icon next to it. A hidden conversation. My breath hitched. I tapped it, and my entire world collapsed. Photos, dozens of them, of Ethan. With her, a woman I didn't recognize, brunette, younger, beautiful. Selfies in a hotel room, wine glasses. A picture of them in bed together. My vision blurred. The messages were even worse. Miss you already, baby. Last night was incredible. Wish I could stay longer. Can't wait to see you next trip. Love you. Love you. I nearly dropped the phone. Ethan stepped out of the bathroom, towel wrapped around his waist, rubbing his hair dry. He looked at me and smiled completely unaware that I had just uncovered his biggest betrayal. I didn't say anything right away. Instead, I played along, acted normal, cooked dinner, kissed him goodnight, and then while he slept, I planned. The next morning, I left the house early under the guise of running errands. But instead, I drove to the address of the hotel from the pictures. I had to see for myself. The receptionist was hesitant at first, but after a few well-placed questions and a fake story about a lost item, she finally admitted it. Ethan had been checking in with the same woman for months. I wasn't the type to scream or throw things. That wasn't my style. Instead, I made sure Ethan felt the kind of humiliation I did. That night, I printed every single picture, every message, and placed them in an envelope. On the front, I wrote, I finally checked your messages from work trip. Then, while Ethan was in the shower, I packed my bags. I left the envelope on the pillow, grabbed my car keys, and walked out of our house for the last time. By the time he read it, I was already gone. A week later, I got another note on my car. Same handwriting, same eerie feeling as I unfolded it. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. You deserved the truth. No signature. I never found out who sent the first note. But whoever they were, they saved me.